Post breaking news into Sports Center. The Saints are giving a former Vikings running back, Latavius Murray, a 4-year, $14.4 million deal. Murray spent the last 2 seasons in Minnesota. He scored 14 touchdowns. Our Adam Schefter is joining us right now. So Latavius Murray is headed to New Orleans. What does that mean for him? And most importantly, for Mark Ingram?
Well, Kerry, this is a situation where the New Orleans Saints were talking to Mark Ingram. They wanted Mark Ingram back, but again, in the end, they felt like they had a good back in Latavius Murray that they wanted to move on with. And so they basically intend to sign Latavius Murray to a 4-year, $14.4 million deal. That means Mark Ingram won't be back in New Orleans. He's been a great player for that franchise. They took him in the first round out of Alabama. Played great in that offense, meant a lot to that city, has been a great player, but he's not going to be back in New Orleans. Now, he's been talking to Baltimore. There could be other interest. Baltimore had an interest in bringing in Mark Ingram. We'll see whether the Ravens and Mark Ingram can get a deal done. That would be one logical landing spot for Mark Ingram. Baltimore may be the most logical, but again, these are fluid situations, and we'll have to see. If Mark Ingram were to wind up in Baltimore, that would be one less landing spot for Le'Veon Bell at this time. Everybody waiting to see where he goes, Kerry.
All right, well, you led me there because that's what I want to talk about. That's the top name that still remains. The Jets have spent a lot of money on their defense in the past 24 hours. Where does that leave them in the Bell sweepstakes?
Listen, they have still been talking to him, but moments ago, news reporter Antonio Brown tweeted out that Le'Veon Bell has Antonio Brown has a new team at this point in time, and basically Le'Veon Bell has made his decision, and he'll let him say where that's going to be. So again, according to Antonio Brown right now, Bell has made a decision. It does not appear at this point in time that it's one of these teams that's been on the radar, but we'll see what comes of this. So we could get word of Le'Veon Bell, according to Antonio Brown. If he's being serious here, we'll see how this shakes out here coming up.
Okay, so yeah, we got the tweet. It's Antonio Bryant, and he did say, congrats, Le'Veon Bell, on getting that money in the money bag emoji. It's very important because that's how the kids talk today, with emojis. Gonna let him tell you the team. So he's leading us to believe that is coming out sooner than later, and that's from Antonio Bryant. Thank you so much for being here with us, Adam Schefter, giving us the latest, and we'll keep everyone posted on Le'Veon Bell and where he goes.
To college hoops now. We haven't seen Zion Williamson on the court since his sneaker went kaflooey about 3 weeks ago. Since then, Duke has lost 3 times, dropped 4 spots in the poll. But despite that, yesterday Zion was named the ACC's top rookie and player of the year, and he is expected to return to action Thursday night in the ACC tourney. So the kids are back together. Here's Jay Harris with a look at how Duke's callow youth stacks up against other great freshman classes.
These diaper dandies are really extraordinary.
Oh, 3, left side. Go! Already, baby! Here they go! The Wolverines! The young Kentucky Wildcats have grown up!
The best freshmen in college basketball capture our attention for just a few months, but can leave a lasting legacy. You know the names: the Fab Five, John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Jahlil Okafor, Justice Winslow, and Tyus Jones. All great freshman classes, but none were as productive as the current crop of Dukies.
The Duke freshmen are a different breed.
Zion! High above the rim!
Here's Jones behind the back. Wide open, Jones!
Got it!
Duke's freshmen, Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, and Trey Jones are averaging 63 points per game. That is 6 points per game more than the Fab Five through regular season play, 19 more than Okafor and company, and 22 more than Davis and his freshman teammates. No freshman class has boasted 2 scorers like Williamson and Barrett.
They have multiple All-Americans, and then you have this out-of-the-world talent like Zion. This team has been spectacular to watch.
They are on pace to be the first freshman teammates in Division I history to each average 20 points per game, and both are on pace to break the freshman ACC scoring record. Zion and Barrett are currently the number 1 and number 2 prospects for the 2019 NBA draft. Throw in Cam Reddish, and Duke might be the first school to produce 3 of the first 5 picks in the NBA draft. But only 2 of the 13 champions in the one-and-done era started a true freshman that turned pro after the season. And all of these numbers will ring hollow if Duke, like the Fab Five, fails to win it all.
Duke is now a 2 seed, according to our Joe Lenardi, and that could be trouble. Since seeding began in 1979, Duke has been far better as a 1 seed, winning 85% of its games and 4 of their 5 titles when they're on that top line. Here's Seth and Jay Will on what to expect when Zion returns to the floor.
The big question that is looming, Seth, that everybody wants to know the answer to, what are we going to expect from Zion Williamson when Duke plays in the quarterfinals?
With Zion Williamson back, it changes Duke's DNA defensively. I think that's where his greatest impact is. His ability to get out in passing lanes, jump switch, ball screens, his ability to distort passing lanes. And then he's going to give them some inside scoring that they haven't had without him. The big question is on the offensive end, because without him, they've gone more dribble, handoff, dribble, drive type action. They've got to figure out a way to integrate him back, not in transition. He's going to be great in transition, in the half court. And then, is he going to be on a pitch count? How many minutes can he play at a high level?
I think Zion Williamson can always give you points in the paint. He's just a bona fide scorer. The big question is going to be, what happens to the inconsistency of a guy like Cam Reddish? Because, RJ Barrett, Zion, they're bona fide. Every single night, they're going to score points. Can Cam be consistent the way he was in that Louisville game, the way he was in that first half against North Carolina? And then how about the play of Jack White, Alex O'Connell? Those guys looked in that game against North Carolina, Seth, like at times they were afraid to be on the court. Will they own the moment? Will they continue to mature? And then will they play well? Because if they play well, those could be the X factors to Duke winning the ACC championship.
I think Zion Williamson back allows Tre Jones to get out and really pressure the ball again. And when Tre Jones is pressuring the ball, Duke is a different team defensively. If they're that team, maybe they get Carolina the 3rd time.
Okay, the ACC tournament is already underway. It started 30-some minutes ago. Number 12 Miami facing number 13 Wake Forest on ESPN. Georgia Tech will then square off against number 15 Notre Dame. And tonight on ESPNU, it's BC playing Pitt. All games also available on the ESPN app. Carrie.
All right, David. So meanwhile, let's make sure we get this right. Antonio Bryant, not Antonio Brown, giving out congratulations to Le'Veon Bell on getting money. I don't know if you guys remember him. He's a former wideout, last played for the Bucks in 2009. He is a social media reporter as well. So we can't necessarily confirm if, in fact, this deal is true or not. But we know that everyone is watching the Le'Veon Bell sweepstakes, and everyone clearly, as you can see, weighing in here on SportsCenter. We'll have more on Le'Veon Bell. We'll keep you posted. Stay locked.
If there's a money bag emoji, it's got to be true. That's what I've always been told. Nick Foles going to take his talents to Jacksonville. Teddy Bruschi joins us. How well will the former Eagles QB fit with the Jags?